Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Sagebrush Happy Hour Journal entry for August 28th, 2025. We're nearing the end of August. I haven't done a journal entry. Well, I actually recorded a journal entry in the last couple days, but I didn't publish them. And then yesterday I was helping out installing the solar equipment for my old solar equipment that I'd sold to one of my neighbors, and they're not that knowledgeable about the solar equipment, and so I spent the day helping them install that and get their system up and running. But I got home yesterday afternoon, and I was just exhausted, and I didn't really want to do a journal entry. And the previous day, I kind of was veering toward talking about politics, and I kind of decided that I would not publish that particular journal entry. But I'm more and more kind of getting to be unable to not veer into some political things when I'm talking about the journal entry. And so I'm kind of pondering at what depth I shall go on that. And so kind of along those lines is one of the few connections that I still have with my family, mostly in Florida and Texas, is that we still do annually, kind of to honor my father. We do fantasy football together. We have a family fantasy football league, and so that's one of those few things that we can do on a weekly basis where we don't have to talk to each other about anything political. And so I'm not a huge sports ball fan. I don't know all that much. I used to follow the Denver Broncos when I lived in Denver, and was kind of a Broncos fan back in the olden days when they were actually a good team, but pretty much over the last few years, I've kind of lost interest altogether in football. But in fantasy football, we've done this for, I guess, 12 or 14 years now. And I've been champion twice. And I found it kind of interesting that the fantasy football is kind of just basically a statistical game, and where you're dealing with statistics. And so I was thinking that I was fairly adept at that, and I didn't even know who the players were. I would just read through the stats for the week and the projections, and basically play my team according to the probability and the numbers. And that worked pretty well, and up until last season. And last season, I just could not catch a break. I would every week it would seem that whoever was going to be my statistical best player would get injured or dropped or something, and I ended up in last place. And we'd always been using Yahoo's engine for our fantasy football league, and so this year, my nephew is going to be is the commissioner, and he's a young 20-something, and he's evolved us over to a new app It's I didn't even remember what it's called off. Sleeper, and so and it kind of has like kind of a hackery name to it, and so I was pretty reticent to use that app. And then also, since he was commissioner, he's added a couple younger members of our family to the league. And that means that I was originally scheduled, if we'd stayed on Yahoo and the same number of people playing, since I was in last place last year, I should have been first draft pick this year. However, the way things worked out is I ended up being like fifth draft pick out of 10 for reasons that I'm not entirely clear about. But anyway, we did that draft last night while I was kind of really exhausted, and I hope the outcome works out. I don't know that I have that many good players. The only one I kind of recognized the name was the Jaden Davis, I guess it is the quarterback, and Mahomes I got, I guess. And so we'll see how that works out in the new league on the new app, and if nothing else, it allows me to communicate with my family, and so that's a win. So that's kind of what's happening on the Mesa today. Cheers, everybody.